there everyone, I am here for another premiere of Come Create a Card with me. I know that I'm in the middle of doing a lot of Christmas work at the moment, Christmas cards and projects and things, but I wanted to stop for a minute and revisit some of our great annual catalogue products. So in amongst the annual catalogue is Gallery Blooms. There's an entire huge suite for this. So I am actually using the two, for this one today I'm using this one, and I'm also using Beautiful Motifs and Gallery Blooms. So these are a whole heap of dies. That's going to go in it as well. Today I am inspired by a challenge that my upline Tracy has put forward, and this one I thought, oh well, I really like this one. I wanted to make a video for this, so I am doing some ink blending today. So I've chosen 3 different colors. I'm just going to pop this one over to the side. So we have Strawberry Slush, Timid Tiger, and Granny Apple Green. So these colors are definitely not a part of the big suite. The suite has a lot of this kind of thing. It's that watercolor landscape kind of inspired paper, and there's a lot of these muted tones in there. So this is definitely not going to be this. I'm going to pop those ones to the side, and we are starting with a basic card base. It is in Granny Apple Green, and I have done 21 centimeters by 21 centimeters by 14.8 centimeters. I've got that one in my head completely nowadays. That just folds in half at 10.5, and it creates your base. I do love these bright colors too, so I was glad to be using this. Now, the other thing for this is you will notice all my measurements are along the bottom of my video. And also, if you are not in Australia, because that's where I am, and you require measurements in inches, then there is an online converter that there's a link in the description, and you are able to pop in all of my measurements and recreate the cards too. My brain just does not work that way to try and change it all myself. So there we go. So our card base is our Granny Apple Green. Now then I have created, now I'm going to, I've forgotten the measurement, so I am going to measure this. This is a basic black, and it is 8.5 by, let me see, 12.3. And then half a centimeter smaller than that is going to be, this is the suite, the same papers. You can see on the back, that's that one I've just cut from, and I'm doing this black and white rose, I guess you could say that it's from the Gallery Bloom. So you can see this is the inspired image there, and it's in the paper there. So I'm just going to grab, I've got some of this sheeting that comes in our stamps, and I have popped, I think I've said this a few times now, I've popped a Velcro dot on the side and on my wall, or actually on my frame, and this is just an easy way for me to not lose it. I use it for any ink blending, or if I stamp over the top outside of an image, and I just want to keep my desk clean. So you'll see this, and I can just wipe it off. Now I am using also just so that we keep our place nice and tidy, I have got a little it's actually a baby white that's dried out, and I have some of our in a smaller spray, our Stampin' Mist, which is our conditioner and cleaning fluid. So I just pop that in a smaller bottle here, spray bottle. So I'm going to get started with this one. Okay, I'm going to pop this one here. So ink blending is, there's a couple of different ways, but Stampin' Up has brought in a great some blending brushes. Now I have got some of them, but I also have some from other brands as well. It doesn't really probably matter where you get the blending brushes from. They just need to be, I'm just trying to find the one I want. Just try this colour first, make sure it's, yep, it's fine. So yeah, so you just want these, they have like a really soft brush here, and you just pick up a bit of the ink and then blend. So to do this today, we're going to just do 3 colours just to make it pretty. We're going to start with Granny Apple Green, and I'm actually going to not try to mix up my colours too closely. So you don't want them too muddied. This is our green, and because that's the centre of our card, I'm going to actually start in the centre. And we just tap. I always use from the start, from the edge of my card, and just blend it more and more on the outside. And then we can see that it sort of blends quickly into the centre. And the less that's on the ink, on the brush, the easier it is to make it nice and smooth looking. Okay, so don't overfill the space because you can always come back to it. Let's use Timid Tiger next. So Timid Tiger, I mean, the orange that they have in our core range is called Pumpkin Pie, and I have to admit I'm a huge fan of this one. I wasn't too sure about this. It's heavily pigmented, so even though the colour doesn't come out as bright as Pumpkin Pie, I did discover that this is quite heavily pigmented. So here we go, and I'm just bringing that closer to the green, but not over. I'm going over it just a very small amount, so you can see already they're starting to blend in here. And then I want to move this to the side, and Strawberry Slush is our next one. Now these are our tongue tied. Oh, they create a tongue tie here. So here I am using the pink. Now again, we have a couple of pinks in Stampin' Up in our core range, and we also have 2 pinks in our 2 different years in a row for in colours. So this one is a much darker, I guess almost red colour, and I'm just not, you can see now I'm not adding any more colour. I'm just blending and making it a bit that way. And I'm going to go back to the green now, because it does, you just want the vibrancy to match with the other colours that you're going to use. So I'm just adding a bit more. Like I said, don't make them too muddy. Now I do like, I was just saying about the pigments, I try not to oversaturate my my ink pads, so that it's a lot easier to not overfill our brush, because if you overfill it, you end up with big splodges on it. So you can see that, some very pretty colours, and when it goes on the Granny Apple Green, it really picks up the vibrancy. So I'll pop this to the side. I am going to quickly give that a little wipe. It's amazing how much comes off like that, and pop it to the side back on its little dot. Now I have cheated a little bit so that I haven't got such a very long video this week, but what I have done is I've used the dies for this, and I've already cut out this one. So this is the that one that I came out before. I think it's a rose. I'm not sure. It's not quite like a rose. Could be a chameleon. I don't know. I'm not good with flowers. I do live in an area that actually does Carnival of Flowers, so they're very big into their flowers here. they're very pretty. Love them, but don't ask me all of the names because I don't know. Now I'm not very good at doing this, but I am going to hold my breath and stamp off here. Mine's a little bit, so if you find that you're, show you actually, I have used it several times, but it's still pooling a little bit on my stamp. I'm not going to worry too much, but what you can do is you can get a eraser and go over the top of it, and that will actually mean that it doesn't pool on there. It's actually a little bit of a smoother surface. Now, I'm just trying to line this up. It's not going to be perfect, I know, but that's okay. And pop it down. Oh, goodness me. I'm always holding my breath when I do this because this is not at all how I normally do it. So, give me a second and I might do this one again. Just going to run it through my cut and emboss machine. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I am a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to this sort of thing. So I will stamp first and run it through my die. There we go. Just so I get a nice black, thick image that I want to cut out correctly. So to cut this out in one of these machines, which I used to have a very old one. Have to admit, these ones are great. They're Stampin' Up ones, but there are other ones available online. And if you have trouble with your hands, there are some electric ones. I know that, you know, people are out there that are needing a little bit of help with their hands, and it is needs a bit of pressure to put through. So I do use some washi tape there to hold it in place. I'm going to pop it through the machine. Mine sits on a table right next to me, so I'm not going to move it and bring it across into view. And I'll be honest, I have the miniature one of these as well, which goes in the caravan with me. But for that one, I'm just going to not use it. It's a bit hard to put things through it. So let me get some of this a little bit together for you. So this is the other die. You can see it's beautiful. It's really, really fine. Okay, now I was getting ready for this one. And I was like, this is where I'm going to have to put it together whilst I'm in the video because I'm not sure whether or not it's going to be exactly what I want. So these ones here, I'm not going to get too worried about them because I do want this to sit behind our white image. You can see that I use you can get different tools and things to punch all these little pieces out, but I use a scalpel. I'm a bit old school. I used to cut out scrapbooking titles and things like that, you know, spend half an hour cutting out a word using a very sharp scalpel. So don't do that anymore. I own a Cricut machine, so that makes it much, much easier. Okay, I've got 2 of these. Let me just move a few little bits of pieces aside. Okay, let's put some of this together so then we can finish it off. So hopefully my glue is behaving. Yes, it is, because it wasn't behaving for me this morning and it was getting clogged up a lot. So there is our ink blended background, and I've actually just decided I think I will add a white. Terrible white. I'm always adding extra. My friends that know me well know that I'm always adding extra. I start with a very basic card and end up with lots and lots of layers, so that's, yeah, I know. I'm just going to put some white, so let me do a measurement here. Okay, it is 12.8 by, let's see, 9. So this just gives us a little bit of a white border. Now I may even change that, but that looks a little bit better. And that's going to stick onto our granny apple green. Now I have to make sure, whoops, that it's got to go the right way. I don't want my flowers to be upside down. So there we go, put that on there. And this one here, I'm keeping it fairly simple. So we have a couple of framed layers. There we go, like that. Then we're going to have the white one to sit on top like that. So for this one, I'm not colouring at all. It's going to be white. Okay, and I'm going to use, let me see, I've got some here, dimensional dots. So plenty of dimensional dots. Whoops. And these are probably one of my favourite things to use. Now, my little tip is we get it in a full sheet about this big, but I cut it in half. What that does is I just use my trimmer to run it through, and that gives you all these little pieces. Yes, you can, whoops, we call it the skeleton, the outside pieces, the bones of it all. Those pieces you can chop them off, but it just makes it a little bit easier having a couple there as well when I'm creating. Now, don't worry too much about this bottom piece. It's mainly your most part of your image that you want it to pop it up. Now, I am not going to sit it there, but I'm not going to push it down. I'll show you why. I want this to just sit on the outsides of the border like that. So a little bit on the over here and a little bit over there. And you can even probably put a little bit on an angle like that. I haven't pushed it down, and this is the reason why. I want to pop some of these behind it, but it's sitting so you can see it like this. I'll even put it up a little bit. And this will actually, oops, this will stick to the backs here, but it will still stick down because it doesn't take up all of the room. It doesn't take up everything is what I'm trying to say, and I don't want it to be too much, so like that and like that. Now I might glue these little bits down that are here just so they don't poke out from underneath, or not too much anyway. And then this can go down. So like I said, I'm just going to have it a little bit off the border so it sort of sits up like that. And we are almost done. I'm just going to do a sentiment, a greeting. What am I going to do? Let me grab. I haven't even chosen which one I would like to do. I have so many. Oops. I've got new I've put new drawers in, and so I can't find anything. It's terrible. Okay, let me go back to my very original. This is the best Simply Said stamp set, and this is great because it's got a bit of everything. I think I'm going to put on here, I think it can just be a thank you. Let's just do a thank you. Very, very simple. Okay, this is the first part of stamping that I'm doing for this one. Just get a little, yep, thank you. Like that. Now for the thank you, I think I will go to my Timid Tiger, and I'm going to just, very simple, stamp it out. Thank you. Let's hope that looks like it's got a little bit of something on it. There we go. Don't know what it was. Sometimes I seem to pick up bits and pieces of whatever's on my desk. So this is a very simple font, and we're just going to pop it down like that. And I am going to use my trimmer. I'm terrible. I don't like to use my scissors very much for this sort of thing, because then I can get it nice and straight like that. And this one here is going to pop in like this, but I do want it to be a little tiny banner on the end. So a little trick, go up the middle, a little bit like that, and then go from there up to the middle from one corner, and then I always turn it over like that. There we go. And this one I'm just going to glue it down like that. Pop it on here with the thank you here, and again it will go off the edge like that. And to finish it off, I have some little, what am I going to use? I'm going to use some I'll do, these ones are retired ones, but I just grab anything usually out of the drawer that I have, and I'm just going to add some of these gorgeous big bobbly gems, and I'm going to pop that one up here, I think, and that's about it. Thank you everybody for joining me. I know I've sort of chatted on a lot more than I had planned, but anyway, that's okay. And I'm just bringing these ones in so you can see it one more time, and that is how we are done. I'll join you next time. Thank you everybody. Make sure that you subscribe and share my videos with all of your crafty friends. This has been lots of fun, and we will see you again next time. Bye bye.